Now, let's talk real quick about BlazBlue Central Fiction 2.0, which I don't have a whole lot to say on it, but I did feel like I should mention it because I've been talking about how much I love BlazBlue and stuff, so I do want to throw this out there. It just came out in Japan on the arcade machines. Oh, and it's an update, by the way, for BlazBlue Central Fiction. It sounds to me like instead of making like they always, they would always do the Super Street Fighter thing where BlazBlue would always be like BlazBlue Continuum Shift Extend, Chrono Phantasma Extend, and they would always do that extra like version or whatever. Um, there it sounds like to me instead of doing a Central Fiction Extend, they're just doing this free update, Central Fiction 2.0, which I think is awesome if it is a replacement for the Extend, because it is cool to get the Extend games, but it's not necessary. It's such a money thing, now to do like Super Street Fighter 4. Like you don't have to do Super Street Fighter 4 should be nothing more than a free update. I'm not picking on Street Fighter. All the fighting game franchises, it seems like it does it. The only one I can think of off the top of my head that doesn't is Tekken. Like we never got like a Super Tekken. Yeah, are there any others? It doesn't matter, I guess. Persona 4 didn't do it, but once again, that's just BlazBlue's developers, so Anyways, so I'm glad it's a free update. Jubei's coming to the game, the cat, one of the 6 heroes, finally. I thought he was gonna show up. I thought they were gonna put him in Chrono Phantasma, but they didn't. So I was surprised when he wasn't in there, and he's become a meme machine, because of it. So he's finally in there. He's playable in Japan right now on the arcade machines. We don't know when we're getting it on consoles, and I don't know if that'll be different in release date from the Japanese consoles from American. Probably not. The only thing that I really just, oh god, it still pisses me off, but whatever. Gotta get over it. I wish that part of this update was English voice acting, because that was the one thing that really irked me about Central Fiction, is the whole English voice acting debacle. And for those of you who don't know, or you just played BlazBlue Central Fiction and realized, hey, there's no English voice actors, what happened? Basically, before the game came out, they announced there won't be English voice actors. There was a short time period before it came out. It felt very intentional. It felt very sleazy on Axie's part, and they were saying, well, nobody, really will. I can't remember word for word, so I don't want to like twist their words, but I remember some things like them saying like, well, people don't really buy it just for the English voice actors. Or people will buy it even if it's just Japanese voice actors anyways. But if there is an outcry for English voice actors, we will see about putting them in. And there was an outcry, a very big outcry. I know there's a lot of people who are like, well, the Japanese are better, it doesn't matter. And it's like, it does matter, because for somebody like, me, for example, who's been playing with English voice actors throughout all the BlazBlue games, whether you love them or hate them, that there is a big part of the fan base who likes and listens to the English voice cast of BlazBlue, and I actually think they're pretty good. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, for a fighting game, a Japanese fighting game. So, and they had like, oh, who was it? I think it was the voice actor for Ragna, one of the main characters. He came out and he was all, he was like, oh yeah, well, I've talked to a lot of these voice actors. We'll totally do it if they call us, but they won't do it or whatever. And I honestly think the number one reason was just money. They didn't want to pay them the money, which sucks ass. And there was a whole petition. I signed the petition. There's probably a couple, but there was one major one on, change.org, which I don't know how effective that really is. It was the first petition I ever signed, but it had a couple, what was it at? It was, it had tens of, oh man, I don't want to twist that either. a very large amount of people. Let's just go with that. If you think about how many people buy the BlazBlue game, which is probably, you know, a little less than 1 million, maybe in America, I don't know, and probably in the hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, it was probably a good maybe 10% of people who play BlazBlue. Probably more. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long since I looked at that because that was like before Central Fiction came out. But I wish they were adding that to this update. That was my whole point in bringing that up. I don't think they are. They never said anything about that. I'm just throwing this out there. I do wish that was something they would do, but anyways, that's all I got on that. Still disappointing to this day. That the final BlazBlue game won't have English voice acting. Maybe they'll re-release it someday with it. Who knows? Now, on our next subject here, speaking of Japanese games, and one of possibly my favorite franchise of all time, Persona, just had a few announcements the other day. Once again, not a whole lot to say about this, like the BlazBlue thing, but I just want to throw this out there anyways. Persona Q2 was announced, which is awesome, because Persona Q is awesome. Not my favorite Persona game, but some of my favorite music in a Persona game. The battle theme, and the theme song. I really like the battle theme. It's one of my favorite Persona songs. So Persona Q2 is coming. It's going to feature Persona 5 characters for sure. We already know that just based on the logo for Persona 2. I don't know if this is a crossover game. A lot of websites were like, oh, we can't wait to see, like, Mitsuru talk to Makoto and stuff. And it's like, is it a crossover game this time? Or is it just going to be Persona? Because that'd be kind of hard to pull off. You do Persona 3, 4, and 5? Like, Jesus. We'll find out more about that. I mean, that was probably the main appeal of Persona Q, but when people actually found out, like, it's a really good game, then the crossover stuff, does it matter if they cross over? They could just have a really good story. I don't know. It's just a really good game. And then they right after that, they announced Persona. Gotta get the names right here. I keep flip-flopping them. Persona 3 Dancing Moon Knight and Persona 5 Dancing Star Knight. Now, I think these are supposed to come out on the same day, like a Pokemon thing. Which I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I'll probably play Persona 3's first and then Persona 5, if that's the case. I'm actually kind of hoping they have like a special edition bundle that comes with both of them. That would be awesome. But these are, well, I don't know chronologically, but essentially sequels to Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which is a very good game, by the way. When that game was announced, everyone laughed and they're like, haha, they're just milking this series. No, I'm not going to buy this one. Well, I buy every Persona game that comes out now, and I was skeptical, not of the gameplay. The gameplay looked fun. I was skeptical. I was like, the story's going to be cheesy, and it is a little. It's pretty good. I actually like the story to this game more than Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. And Persona 4 Arena, the first one, had a good story. The second one was good, but it didn't close up a lot of things I wanted it to, or at least I didn't think it was as impressive as I was expecting it to be. Persona 4 Dancing All Night impressed me. The story actually impressed me. It's good. Play that if you haven't. I know it's only on Vita, which sucks for people who don't have a Vita, but try to play that. If you're a fan of the Persona music or the franchise or whatever, it's good. The story is good. Go play it. Anyways. So yeah, we're getting a Persona 3 Dancing Moon Knight and Persona 5 Dancing Star Knight. So my reaction the first time, like I just said, for Persona 4 Dancing All Night was like, this is kind of weird. This is getting a little, they're milking this franchise. And they are. It is. But as long as they're good, I really don't care. But this time around, I'm actually really looking forward to these. Like, I thought they look really good. And I hope the story for both of them is really good. And I wonder if they're going to, like, expand on the Persona 3 story at all. I mean, the Persona 4 Dancing All Night story, by expand, I mean, is it required? No. But the Persona 4 Dancing All Night story does technically expand. So I wonder if they're going to do that with these two, which means I need to hurry up and beat Persona 5, which I've been working on. I just haven't had a lot of time, but that's my quote unquote free time game right now is Persona 5. And I already beat Persona 3, and then Persona Q, I need to beat that so that when I don't think if Persona Q2 probably, well, I don't know, it might not have anything to do with the first one, but I still want to beat it anyways before it comes out. So I've been working on that. That's my other free time game. That one's a little harder though. Persona Q is probably the hardest Persona game I've played, and I mean, unless you count like the higher difficulties. But then again, Persona Q has a hard mode as well. Anyways, yeah, that's all I got in Persona. I'm really excited for those. Play Dancing All Night. If you haven't, if you were skeptical at first,